The grizzly bear is something that is always on our mind because we know that they're here. We see their tracks. We know that they travel the same trails.
For those who come to visit the Greater Yellowstone area, part of the allure is the complete wildness of it. It's human nature to think we're the top of the food chain, we're it. Here we're not.
You know, we hear a lot of time about what do grizzlies do to people, but we never think about what do grizzlies do for people. Once you have grizzlies protected in an area, then it also protects the land around it. Grizzlies need large open landscapes to survive.
I think it's an honor in the sense that these apex predators share space with us.
People are their biggest threat and their biggest opportunity.
The grizzly bear population is considered robust. It's phenomenal to be a part of that.
That we still have the grizzly bear on the landscape after all these years, after all of these pressures. They're not going to go extinct.
A century ago, we were the worst threat to grizzly bears and reducing their population almost to extinction. We are in a very good spot now, I think, compared to 100 years ago. But of course, we want to make sure that we give bears space. Don't get close to them. Don't put your child next to one to have a photo of it. Do not feed a bear out of your car window. It took decades to get people to stop expecting to be able to feed a bear on the side of the road. Back in the teens, the Army had open pit dumps. Early in the evening, maybe some black bears would be on the open pits. After that, the sows with cubs would come and push the black bears off. And then last but not least, the big boars would come in and kind of rule the roost for the rest of the evening. Quickly, visitors started flocking to these dumps. It was like the most popular activity in Yellowstone for a long time. It wasn't until the 60s that we realized we need to reevaluate this. It wasn't, though, until the 1970s that we actually closed those open pits. That did change the population of bears. People struggled with that shift in the 70s, I think, because they were worried. People were worried that the animals wouldn't be able to survive without our help. Bear and human interactions just plummeted, and bears went back to being in the backcountry and not having that regular interaction with humans.
The bears are fine in the park itself. However, ecologically speaking, that is not enough. So when you look at a map, you see Yellowstone National Park, it's a square. You don't need to be a scientist to sort of look at a square and go like, what, that doesn't seem natural. So these bears live in Yellowstone Park, but they also go outside of Yellowstone National Park, which is why this is called the Greater Yellowstone Ecosystem.
Big male bears come out of the den in season first, and then the last ones that come out are females with cubs. The first few months, it's a really rough living for them.
You know, this is a high altitude, harsh environment. There's deep snows in the winter. Summers are very short.
It's incredibly unique. It's one of the last intact temperate zone ecosystems on the planet, and it has all the native wildlife that have been here from before white settlement. From grizzly bears to Yellowstone cutthroat trout.